You are taking your vitamins every morning. You have been doing it for years, maybe decades. The multivitamin, the vitamin C, the B complex, the gummy vitamin D your doctor recommended, the probiotic, the fish oil capsule. You are doing this because you care about your health, because you are trying to do everything right, because someone, a doctor, a friend, an advertisement told you these things were good for you, and most of them are. Most vitamins and supplements, in their correct form, serve a genuine purpose. But there is something happening inside those bottles that almost nobody talks about. Something that is particularly relevant and particularly damaging for anyone managing blood sugar, insulin resistance, or type 2 diabetes. Hidden sugar. Not a small amount. In some products, a genuinely significant amount, delivered directly into your bloodstream every single morning before you have even eaten breakfast. Before your glucose monitor has given you your first reading, before the day has even started. Today I want to show you exactly which supplement formats and products are delivering hidden sugar into your body, what that sugar is doing to your blood sugar, and how to identify the safe alternatives so that the vitamins you are taking to protect your health are not quietly working against it. Let me start with a number that surprises almost everyone. A standard gummy multivitamin, the kind that looks like a small candy, comes in fruit flavors, and has been heavily marketed as a more enjoyable alternative to pills, typically contains between 2 and 4 grams of added sugar per serving. 2 gummies per day is the standard dose for most adult gummy vitamins. That is 4 to 8 grams of sugar consumed first thing in the morning before food. Some gummy vitamin brands contain as much as 6 grams of sugar per serving. That is more sugar than a small piece of candy. And this is just the multivitamin. Add a gummy vitamin C, 2 to 4 grams of sugar. A gummy vitamin D, 2 to 3 grams, a gummy probiotic, 2 to 4 grams. A person who takes a gummy multivitamin, a gummy vitamin C, and a gummy vitamin D each morning before breakfast may be consuming 12 to 15 grams of sugar before their first meal, before their coffee, before anything else. 12 to 15 grams of sugar on an empty stomach with no food, no fiber, no protein, no fat to slow the absorption. On an empty stomach, sugar is absorbed almost immediately. There is nothing in the digestive system to create the slowing buffer that food provides. Glucose enters the bloodstream rapidly. Insulin is released rapidly. The blood sugar spike is sharp and fast, and this is happening before the day has officially begun. For someone whose fasting glucose is already elevated, someone who spent the entire night working to keep their overnight numbers in check, who walked after dinner, who closed the kitchen at 7, who did everything we have discussed in this series, that morning sugar hit from their vitamins can push fasting glucose higher before their monitor even registers the first reading of the day. Now let me explain why this problem is both more common and less visible than people realize. The supplement industry is not regulated with the same rigor as pharmaceuticals. The Food and Drug Administration does not require supplement manufacturers to prove their products are effective before they are sold. But more relevant to today's conversation, the labeling rules around supplements contain a significant loophole. When a supplement product contains added sugars, those sugars must be listed in the nutrition facts panel. But the supplement industry has become extraordinarily skilled at using multiple forms of sugar across a product, each individually listed at amounts that appear small, while the total sugar load across the serving is meaningful. Sugar, dextrose, glucose syrup, sucrose, maltodextrin, tapioca syrup, corn syrup solids, fructose, natural flavors derived from fruit. Each of these is a form of sugar or sugar-adjacent ingredient that raises blood glucose to varying degrees. And they often appear together in a single product, with none of them appearing first on the ingredient list because each is present in a small individual amount. The ingredient list does not show you the combined effect. It shows you the individual components. This is why people who are vigilant about sugar in their food, who read labels carefully, who avoid obvious sweets, who have switched to low glycemic eating, are still sometimes puzzled by unexplained glucose elevations. The sugar is not coming from their meals, it is coming from their supplement cabinet. Let me walk you through the most common supplement categories and where the hidden sugar problem is most significant. The first and most significant category is gummy vitamins. We have already discussed the sugar content, but I want to add something that makes the gummy vitamin problem even more relevant for people managing blood sugar specifically. Gummy vitamins typically contain not only added sugars, but also sugar alcohols, compounds like sorbitol, xylitol, and maltitol, which are used in reduced sugar versions to add sweetness without as much glucose impact. Sugar alcohols are partially absorbed by the gut and do raise blood sugar, but less dramatically than regular sugar and with significant individual variation. However, sugar alcohols have another consequence for people with blood sugar concerns. They feed gut bacteria, including bacteria that are not necessarily beneficial and can cause digestive disruption, bloating, and loose stools in larger amounts. This gut disruption is relevant because, as we have discussed throughout this series, a healthy gut microbiome is one of the mechanisms by which short-chain fatty acids are produced and insulin sensitivity is supported. Disrupting the gut environment with large amounts of sugar alcohols is not a neutral act metabolically. The gummy vitamin, in total, is one of the worst delivery formats for any vitamin or supplement for someone with blood sugar concerns. The sugar is real, the gut impact of the sugar alcohols is real, and the fun, candy-like format is specifically designed to make you forget that you are essentially eating a modified confection every morning. The second category is flavored vitamin drinks and powders. Vitamin C packets dissolved in water, electrolyte powders, vitamin B complex drink mixes, collagen powders with flavoring. These products are marketed aggressively in health and wellness channels, and many of them contain significant amounts of added sugar or fruit juice concentrate as a sweetener and flavoring agent. Some of the most popular vitamin drink packets on the market contain 6 to 12 grams of sugar per serving. Dissolved in water and consumed on an empty stomach, this is metabolically equivalent to drinking a small glass of sweetened fruit drink first thing in the morning. For someone who has carefully eliminated juice, soda, and sweetened beverages from their diet because they understand the blood sugar impact and then is unknowingly consuming 12 grams of sugar dissolved in their morning vitamin water, the irony is significant and the metabolic consequence is real. Sugar-free versions of these products exist and are increasingly common. But they replace sugar with artificial sweeteners, sucralose, aspartame, ace-sulfame K, which have their own set of concerns for people managing blood sugar. Research on artificial sweeteners and blood sugar is genuinely mixed and still evolving. Some studies suggest that artificial sweeteners, despite having no calories and no direct glucose impact, may alter gut bacteria composition in ways that affect insulin sensitivity over time. Other studies show no significant effect. The science is not settled. What is settled is that artificial sweeteners maintain the sweet taste signal to the brain, which some research suggests may perpetuate sugar cravings by training the palate to expect sweetness. For someone working to reduce dependence on sweet tastes as part of a broader dietary shift, this is worth considering. The safest approach for vitamin drinks is to choose unflavored versions where possible, or to take vitamins in pill or capsule form without the flavoring and sweetener architecture entirely. The third category is liquid vitamins and syrups. Liquid vitamin formulations, particularly those marketed to older adults as easier to swallow, frequently contain sucrose, high fructose corn syrup, or glucose syrup as a base. This is partly for palatability and partly because some vitamins are fat-soluble and require a carrier medium. Liquid iron supplements, liquid vitamin B12, liquid multivitamins, and certain liquid calcium formulations all commonly contain added sugars in their base. And because they are taken in small volumes, the sweetness is concentrated. Read the label carefully on any liquid supplement. If sugar, syrup, or juice concentrate appears in the first 5 ingredients, the product is delivering a meaningful sugar hit with every dose. The fourth category is chewable tablets. Chewable vitamin C tablets, chewable calcium tablets, chewable antacids with added vitamins. These are another format where sugar is used to improve palatability. Not as dramatically as gummy vitamins in most cases, but still present and worth checking. Some chewable vitamin C tablets contain 2 grams of sugar per tablet and are taken 2 or 3 times per day. That is 4 to 6 additional grams of sugar throughout the day, arriving in small hits between meals rather than with food. These between-meal sugar exposures are particularly relevant for blood sugar management because they occur without the buffering effect of a complete meal. Even a small amount of sugar consumed without food produces a disproportionate glucose response relative to the same sugar consumed as part of a balanced meal. The fifth category is protein powders with added sweeteners. Many people managing blood sugar are appropriately focused on increasing protein intake, as we discussed in the protein threshold video. Protein powders can be a useful tool for meeting protein targets, particularly at breakfast, where preparation time is limited. But the protein powder market is dominated by products that contain significant added sugars or artificial sweeteners to improve flavor. Some flavored protein powders contain 5 to 10 grams of added sugar per serving. Others use large amounts of artificial sweeteners and flavoring compounds that produce a very sweet taste without the sugar calories. In both cases, the clean nutritional benefit of the protein is compromised by the sweetener architecture. The best protein powder choices for people managing blood sugar are unflavored whey protein isolate, unflavored casein, or unflavored plant protein blends. These can be added to plain Greek yogurt, to smoothies with berries and nuts, or to oatmeal without introducing any added sugar or sweetener load. Now let me tell you about Harold. You may remember Harold from several episodes throughout this series. 74 years old, former football coach, disciplined, data-oriented man who had made significant improvements in his morning glucose and his post-meal numbers through the protocols we established together. One morning, he came in with a specific frustration. His numbers had been excellent. His fasting glucose had stabilized in the 110 to 120 range consistently. But on certain mornings, he was seeing unexplained spikes, not large ones, but irritating deviations from his established pattern. 125 one morning, 131 on another. On days when nothing about his evening routine had changed, he had been tracking carefully enough to notice a weak pattern. These higher readings seemed more common on mornings when he felt he had been particularly diligent. When he had taken all of his supplements, his vitamins, his daily regimen, we went through his supplement cabinet together: a gummy multivitamin, 4 grams of sugar per serving; a gummy vitamin D, 3 grams of sugar per serving; a flavored vitamin C packet dissolved in water, 6 grams of sugar; a liquid B12, 2 grams of sugar per dose. Total sugar consumed before breakfast, before any food, on an empty stomach, 15 grams. Harold looked at that number for a long moment. He said, "I was doing this every morning thinking I was helping myself. I had no idea I was starting my day with 15 grams of sugar before I even got to the kitchen." We made the changes. Every gummy was replaced with a standard capsule or tablet. The flavored vitamin C packet was replaced with a plain buffered vitamin C capsule. The liquid B12 was replaced with a sublingual B12 tablet that dissolved under the tongue without a sugar carrier. Total sugar from his morning supplement routine, 0 grams. 3 weeks later, the unexplained morning deviation had disappeared. His fasting glucose readings had become the most consistent they had been in the entire time we had worked together. He told me, "I spent months fixing my diet and my evening routine, and every morning I was undoing part of it before breakfast with my vitamins." That is the hidden sugar problem in its most concrete form. Now let me give you the practical framework for auditing your own supplement cabinet and making the changes that protect your blood sugar. The first step is to identify every supplement in your daily routine that is in gummy, liquid, powder, or chewable form. These are the 4 formats where added sugar is most commonly present. The second step is to read the nutrition facts label on each one. Look at the total sugars line. If the value is greater than 0, there is added sugar or naturally occurring sugar from ingredients like fruit concentrate in the product. Note the grams. The third step is to read the ingredient list. Look for any of these terms: sugar, sucrose, glucose, dextrose, fructose, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup solids, tapioca syrup, maltodextrin, fruit juice concentrate, honey, agave, or any ingredient ending in -ose. Each of these is a sugar or sugar-derived ingredient that will affect blood sugar to some degree. The fourth step is to calculate the total sugar you are consuming from supplements each morning before food. Add up the grams from every product you take. If that number is above 4 grams, you have a meaningful hidden sugar exposure that is affecting your morning glucose. The fifth step is to replace the high sugar formats with sugar-free alternatives. Gummy vitamins can almost always be replaced with standard tablets or capsules of the same nutrient. The nutrient is identical. The delivery format is different. The capsule contains no sugar. Flavored vitamin powders in drinks can be replaced with plain capsule or tablet versions of the same vitamins taken with a glass of plain water. Liquid vitamins with sugar carriers can often be replaced with sublingual formulations, tablets that dissolve under the tongue, which bypass the need for a liquid sugar carrier entirely and are often more efficiently absorbed. Chewable tablets can be replaced with swallowable tablets, where the chewable format is not medically necessary. Let me also address a common concern. Some people have difficulty swallowing tablets and capsules, which is why they have chosen gummy or liquid formats in the first place. If swallowing difficulty is a genuine concern, there are several strategies. First, many capsules can be opened and the contents mixed into food. Fat-soluble vitamins like D and K can be mixed into a teaspoon of olive oil or a small amount of yogurt. Water-soluble vitamins like C and B complex can be stirred into a small amount of water or added to a smoothie. Check with your pharmacist before opening any capsule, as some are specifically designed for extended release and should not be opened. But most basic vitamin capsules can be opened safely. Second, small tablets can often be swallowed more easily when taken with a full glass of water and while sitting upright. The addition of a thicker liquid, a small sip of water followed by the tablet followed by more water, helps many people who find tablet swallowing challenging. Third, for vitamins where sublingual or transdermal delivery is available. Vitamin B12 is the most notable example. These alternatives eliminate the need to swallow entirely. There is one additional category I want to address before closing, and it is perhaps the most counterintuitive. Some probiotic supplements, the ones designed specifically to support gut health and through that pathway, blood sugar management, contain prebiotic fibers and added sugars as a growth medium for the bacteria. The sugar is intended to feed the bacteria during the manufacturing and storage process. The amount of sugar in most probiotic capsules is small, typically less than 1 gram per serving in quality products. But some probiotic powders and drinks marketed as gut health supplements contain 3 to 6 grams of sugar per serving, again delivered before food on an empty stomach. Given that the entire rationale for taking a probiotic in the context of blood sugar management is to support insulin sensitivity through improved gut health, taking a probiotic that simultaneously delivers a glucose hit that worsens insulin signaling is a particularly direct form of self-sabotage. Check your probiotic's sugar content. If it is in capsule form from a quality manufacturer, it is likely minimal. If it is a powder, drink, or chewable, read the label carefully. Let me bring the full picture together. Your supplement routine may be delivering hidden sugar into your system every morning before you eat your first meal. In some people, this hidden sugar is the explanation for unexplained glucose elevations, inconsistent morning readings, or a plateau in blood sugar improvement despite careful attention to diet and lifestyle. The solution is not to stop taking vitamins. Many supplements, vitamin D, magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin B12, and zinc have genuine evidence supporting their role in metabolic health and deserve a place in the daily routine of many older adults. The solution is to take them in the formats that do not compromise blood sugar. Tablets, capsules, sublingual dissolving tablets, unflavored powders mixed into food rather than water. Audit your cabinet. Calculate your hidden sugar load. Make the format switches where they are needed. And then track your morning readings for the following 2 weeks. If your readings become more consistent, or if unexplained morning elevations disappear, you have found the source. Harold found his source, and he found it in the vitamins he had been taking every day because he wanted to be healthy. Before I close, the reminder that belongs in every video. If you are on medication for diabetes or blood sugar, please discuss any changes to your supplement routine with your doctor or pharmacist. Some vitamins interact with medications. And as your metabolic health improves across all the habits in this series, your medication may need adjustment. That process should involve your physician. And if you know someone who is doing everything right, diet, movement, timing, sleep, and still seeing unexplained blood sugar elevations in the morning, please share this video with them. The answer may be sitting in their supplement cabinet. Next week, we are going to have a conversation that this entire series has been building toward: sleep and insulin resistance. Why poor sleep is one of the most powerful drivers of everything we have discussed. What a single bad night does to your glucose the following morning. And what you can begin doing tonight, even if sleep has been a struggle for years. It ties everything together. Do not miss it. Subscribe, hit the bell. I will see you next week. I am Dr. Sterling. Take care of yourself, and tonight, check what is in those bottles. Your morning numbers may be telling you something your vitamin label never did.